Reaching 10,000 followers on Instagram is actually much easier than you think. But if you keep making these 3 mistakes, you just simply won't get there. Welcome back to the channel. I help people create better Instagram content so they can build an engaged community and turn their knowledge into income. Now, most people creating content on Instagram will want to reach 10,000 followers. But if they keep making these 3 mistakes, then they're either 1, never going to get there, or 2, they will get there, but it will take a very long time for them to reach that mark. So without further ado, let's get straight into mistakes you could be making, with mistake number 1 being that you're focusing too much on your engagement and not enough on creating better content. So it's very natural when starting your page or when you've got less than 10,000 followers to focus a lot on your engagement. And it's right, you should be doing that because we need to be building community. We need to be building connections. We need to be finding friendships that are going to help us then expand our reach over time. But a mistake people make is that they focus on this engagement for way too long. In the beginning, engagement with your community, with people outside your community, is a great way to grow your page and grow your reach. But it's not scalable. It's limited by how much time you personally have to put into engagement every single day. So what this means is that naturally you're always going to be limited to how much you can grow simply because you're limiting yourself to how much time you can put into the platform. And what this means is then you're then going to be stuck in a constant cycle of you having to engage with people to get engagement back, you having to follow people to get a follow back. And if you're going through that constant cycle, well, yeah, potentially you could get to 10,000 followers, but then how are you going to have an engaged community if you're trying to engage with all those 10,000 people? It's virtually impossible. So at some point you have to say enough is enough. Now is the time to focus on creating better content and getting people to your page that way, instead of just trying to manually go and grab people and pull them to your page. So I tend to say that when you get to around 1,000 to 2,000 followers, and when your engagement is consistently above 150 to 200 likes, then I think that's a really good time for you to step away from doing all of your outbound engagement and begin to really focus on just creating better content. Because believe me when I say this, the only way to scale your page to 10,000 followers effectively and to then go beyond 10,000 followers is to create better content. It's not to keep doing more engagement. So you have to change your mindset, create better content, and in that way you can do less engagement, but you will grow much faster and even beyond your target of 10,000 followers. Now, another huge mistake that people make is jumping on a trend. Now, you've probably heard me in my past videos or even on my Instagram content telling you to use trends to, create more viral content and to boost your growth. But there's always a caveat to that. You can't or you shouldn't jump onto a trend if you can't use it effectively, if it doesn't actually fit your brand and fit your message. For example, I'm a carousel creator. I love to create carousels. That's what I've become known for. So when Reels were first introduced, they were blowing up and they still are blowing up. But because I'm not that good at creating video content, because that format doesn't suit me, then when I tried, and I did try, and if I try to use Reels, I'm going to be very limited to how effective they can be. So what happens is that, even though I'm using a trending format, or even though I'm talking about a trending topic, because it doesn't fit me, because it doesn't suit my style, I'm actually going to perform much worse than what I have been. So what happens? Well, your engagement goes down and it will continue to go down. And not only that, your reach will go down, your profile visits will go down. Naturally, your growth will plummet. And all because you thought, listening to everyone else, that you have to jump onto this new trend. So sometimes you simply just have to stay true to yourself. Just because a shiny new object comes along doesn't mean you have to jump on it and do the exact same thing as everyone else. You're going to get much, much better results if you focus on the one thing that you are good at and you master it and you become known for that one thing. Because your growth, your reach, it doesn't matter what type of content you use. All that matters is that the type of content you use, you do it very well and you get the most out of that piece of content. Now, the final mistake that a lot of people make is they have no clear identity. Now, your identity on Instagram, it comes in many forms. It comes in your visual identity, so how your content looks. It comes in the ideas you talk about. It comes in the opinions you have. It comes in the way you speak, the way you come across, the type of person you are. All of these things form your identity. But when it comes to your content, the biggest mistake out of all of them that I see is that people simply jump between different formats of content, different ideas, different topics, because they don't know who they are. So what I want you to do is go through a very, very simple formula, which I was first introduced to by Jay Shetty. And it's the PSP formula, which is passion plus service equals purpose. So passion, ask yourself, what is it you enjoy? What topics do you like to talk about? What format of content do you like to create? Make a note and only focus on these things. And if you can, limit it to around 3 topics and 1 or a maximum of 2 different formats of content. And then the other side of that equation is service. Well, what is it you can talk about that is in demand? What are people going to pay for? What are people already paying for? If you can find a synergy between your passion and what people are willing to pay for, then that's when we have our purpose. And it's when you have your purpose that your identity on Instagram becomes crystal clear. And once you have a crystal clear identity, well, then people know what it is you stand for. Then people know that when they see your content, what they're going to get. And by having this very clear identity, what then happens is you will start to attract the right type of people, but also repel the wrong type of people. And as this process of your content finding the right people, as this process refines and becomes more accurate over time, as the algorithm learns who to send your content to, then what happens is your engagement would increase. Because now, instead of, let's say out of 1,000 people, that only 200 of them are actually interested in what you talk about, well now, out of those 1,000 people, 500 people are interested in what it is you have to say. So your engagement increases. And the process is a cycle that constantly repeats, and you get more engagement and you get more growth over time. But it is only possible if you have a very clear identity and you stick to that identity for a long period of time. So look, if there's anything I want to take from this video today, is that to grow to 10,000 followers or to grow beyond 10,000 followers, you're not going to do it by simply engaging more. You have to create better content. That's it, period. If you're not creating better content, you can't grow at scale. You can't grow sustainably because you're always going to be limited by the time you put into the platform, the time you put into engagement with other people. But even more than that, by creating better content, you can step away from doing that engagement, but you position yourself as an authority. You position yourself as a credibility. You position yourself as the expert. And that's only possible with your content. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, drop a thumbs up. And if you're interested in learning how to grow 10,000 followers, not just in general, but in 1 month, then check out this video here. And this will give you the free content formulas that you must be using to reach that 10,000 follower per month. But other than that, guys, again, don't forget to drop a thumbs up, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video.